Well, good Sunday evening, Warrior fans and baseball fans alike. I am Doug Gann with 446 Sports, and it is Sunday night out here at Buffalo Wild Wings, where we're excited to bring you the Warrior Roundup with head coach Josh Brown and a lot of your Grace Christian Warriors. Coach, welcome.
Hey.
Look, glad to have you out here. Out on the patio tonight. Our first time that we've ever been out on the patio on here, but the weather was so nice. I said, let's get outside.
It looks great out here, man.
Look, this is it. You got, and a new view, too, because the other we just have the walls and stuff, and now we've got commerce and such going on.
Well, my kid's been going to Marshall's every night, so they may be going to Marshall's here in a minute.
Now you can keep an eye on where they go.
Yeah, for sure.
So rolling through district, Coach, tough week this week, without a doubt. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what you guys have coming up. You've got a lot of big power strength games coming up as well pretty soon. We'll get in our BU Designs player of the game, player of the week we'll talk about, and a lot of those things, and we'll have some players that are on here. So excited about the night, full speed ahead. Let's jump right into last week. And I know it's a difficult week to talk about, but let's jump into it.
Yeah, we have Westlake and then Avoyelles Charter 2 games in Arcadia. So, we went 1-3 this week. Struggled a little bit, but, we got to put it in the past and go forward.
People that look at just the record only said, hey, that's a game that both games were winnable. Absolutely they are. But you throw the records out when these two teams get together.
Yeah, for sure. The game at Charter, was one of those games where, you had a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the sixth, and you just need one out to get to the seventh inning, and we couldn't get it done. They came up with two clutch base hits, and was kind of the difference in the game. Then our kids fought and rallied to force to go to the bottom of the seventh, and they wound up walking us off there. And, that was one of those I wish we could have back, because we struggled to score some runs early in that game. We left the bases loaded in the first inning. And then we had multiple opportunities to score more runs than that. Right. 11 fly ball outs was probably the difference in the ball game there.
Yeah, that's tough when you're getting those up in the air like that, because those are ones, as you teach, any ball that's in the air, you're supposed to catch. That's supposed to be an out on there. And I had to follow along on Game Changer that Charter put up, but they don't. I guess they go back in and put it in at the end of the game. So when it finally started going, it did it quick, and then I see it 1-0. Like, all right, and I get up there and you see them, and it was just you could tell it was one of those that probably had to frustrate you some.
It's very frustrating, especially the opportunities that we had. I felt like early in the game, we got to be disciplined, have some better ABs. Really, the kids sometimes are trying to do too much. We got an opportunity to put a ball in play, score a run here or there, and put it on the ground, man. Right. Make them go make a play, or put it on the ground, make a fielder's choice to score that other run. And we just didn't do that. We put the ball in the air too much, and kind of backfired on us a little bit.
Then you roll into Thursday night, and they make their way over here, and it's another one that looked like it was some capitalization early on, probably that did you in, got you behind.
Yeah, you get off to 3 runs, you give them pretty much off 3 errors, and that you can't do that in a district ball game. But we fought back, loaded the bases up with nobody out, and wound up granted to a double play and on a ball that was, a good play by the Charter third baseman to turn 2, and we scored one there, and then we had a call that was bang that really, we looked at it over and over. We felt like we were safe there, but you're going to have those calls, those bang they can go either way. Didn't go our way, and then we stretched the game out, and and then we continue to make another error in the outfield that can't happen, and then another one that gets by a guy, and then we're talking about another error in the infield that, here we are. We look up, and we got 8 errors after the night. And, I did not felt like they did anything that night that we did not give them. We gave them everything they had. And, I think it was 1 earned run. We looked up, and, the thing was, we struck them out 13, 14 times that night. Anytime you do that, man, you feel like, God, we deserve better than that. And, we just didn't play very good defense.
That's got to give you some if you're going to take anything out of it. And, look, there is 0 columns in anybody's history for moral victories. But you got to be able to take something out of knowing that, hey, we didn't play very well, and this is what happened. So if we clean this up, then perhaps
Correct. And, it's just frustrating because that was a game that we felt like, even though we're missing a starter, our left fielder, we feel like, we could have won the ball game because of our pitching staff's going to give us a chance. But we can definitely take out that our pitching staff, honestly, when you look at it, we really probably for 14 innings pretty much dominated them for the most part. If we don't give them some runs, they had 3 or 4 hits that were legit hits. Other than that, I mean, we dominated on that side of the baseball, but it is what it is. We got to move forward and put it behind us and try to correct those mistakes.
And if I look back though over the last, and speaking of dominating, what a dominating start by Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Let's just throw that out there. All right, so
I think it's those bats.
It's got to be. It's got to be the bat. Look, I'm surprised y'all aren't playing with something like that already. That Brady doesn't have one of them yet.
Well, Brady probably done ordered one this morning. I'm sure
right.
He's probably ordered 2 or 3 of them. He's looking back at us.
There's a good chance of it as much as he changes bats. But, I go back and you guys have not, and you look at 8th grade trips, injuries, sicknesses, all these things. You've not been your full 9 that you started with the first 2, 3, 4 weeks. You've not had that the last 3 or 4 weeks.
No, we've had a different lineup a lot lately. And then, that's you're hoping you get full throttle here shortly because we need them right here down the stretch.
Right.
We really do. And, when we don't have the depth like we had in the past, we got these kids that are ineligible. If you had those guys, it'd be a different story, but we don't. But, we're still capable. I mean, with the guys that we have, they just got to show up and take care of their business, make the plays, keep the ball in front of it, and then don't try to do too much at the plate. I think sometimes we're pressing a little bit at times at the plate. Just go have fun. I felt like when we were on the road earlier this year at Washita Parish and about 4 or 5 games in a row there, we were laid back.
Right.
We were just playing baseball, having fun, and we need to get back to that. We need some energy, and I'm hoping some of these seniors and these captains turn it on right here down the stretch.
Well, we're looking forward to that without a doubt. You guys have some big games coming up again. Let's take a look at next week and see what that looks like. I know you've changed some things around. Your Tuesday game's different.
So we're going on the road to Benton.
Benton is one of the better teams in the state without a doubt. I think they were sitting at 21-1 the last time I saw them.
Yeah, they're 24-1 now.
24-1.
I was talking to Houghton's coach today, and a friend of mine that's up there. He was telling me, he said, Josh, they're the real deal. They might be the best team in the state. Their speed. Everybody I talk to says their speed is just tremendous. Everybody in the lineup can run. They'll turn singles into doubles, and they got one guy that can lay down a bunt anytime and get on base, like I told them, hey, we got nothing to lose. For us, it's a win-win. We've got some things we're going to change tomorrow in practice for this game, and we got a game plan that we took in last year with a couple of teams that we upset, and we're going to kind of go with that game plan again and change some things defensively. And
I don't think we'll get to hear about that till next Sunday. Is it? You're not going to? Are we going to get in on some of that information tonight?
I'll be honest with you. It's going to be some different looks that we're going to throw at them. I'm not going to give it all away, but I will tell you we will probably go with a shift.
Right. I saw y'all do that a couple of times.
We haven't done it much this year, but this week we will probably put that in, and we got a couple little things that we're going to do and try to tweak our defense so that we're a little bit better this week. And I think it's going to help out. I was telling our coaches about it last night, and they felt good about it, and they were like, hey, I think that's a great idea, and let's see what happens. So we're going to prepare for that for tomorrow, and then we got home games against Saline on Thursday, who's, I think, 9-3 right now, and Dotson, who is 7-3 or 7-4 on Friday, and then we got Northwest and possibly Simpson in a doubleheader at home on Saturday. So, we told our guys down the stretch here, we'd like to win at least 7 games,
right?
And try to turn this stuff around and see how we do. We're still 17-6. We're where we want to be, and our goals are still there. And like I told them, the district's not lost.
Not at all. You go out there and you play well and you beat Glenmora, and you're right there.
This is our bye.
You're off this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Glenmora's got Oak Hill. So there's a lot of things that could happen.
And Oak Hill's playing solid.
They are. They're not
right.
a team you can definitely take lightly for sure.
Yeah, it looked like just and you were, I don't know, an inning away from that thing being a split out there
Absolutely.
In those games. So, Yeah, Coach Bandy and that group are certainly playing well without a doubt on there. So we take our first break. When we come back, we'll look at some early season or early district stats. We'll look at some of those. We'll talk to some of the players, and we'll also announce our BU Designs Player of the Week. We'll do all of that. You got a lot of time to join us out on the patio here at Buffalo Wild Wings on a beautiful Sunday evening. Come out and join us. This is the Warrior Roundup on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hawk. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Central Louisiana. This is your home for live sports action. From the field to the court, 446 Sports delivers the games you love with expert commentary and passionate coverage. Cheer for your favorite athletes and relive the moments that define our community spirit. Our sponsors keep us in the game. Together, we bring you the best in local sports coverage. Join the 446 Sports family today. Watch, cheer, celebrate. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. 446 Sports, where Central Louisiana comes to play.
And we're back to Buffalo Wild Wings on a beautiful Sunday evening here. Goodness, we're about to roll into April already. It's crazy. It seems like it was just, well, March. No, that's all I got. Coach, we talked about some early season or mid-season, I guess early season. We have to get away from that. Things that have stood out to you as far as what you've seen, not necessarily stat-wise, but intangible-wise. What's that thing that you're seeing that says, you know what, this is what we're seeing that I like?
From a team standpoint?
From a team standpoint, or perhaps an individual, something that you said, you know what, I didn't think about this, but this is shining for us.
Man, that's a tough one. I mean, I've seen quite a few things, but I would probably say the one thing that stands out the most to me again is our pitching staff. Gives us a chance every night. But one of the biggest surprises, I would say, is just seeing how versatile these two guys right here at the table are. They're able to play anywhere and help us win games and whatnot. You know, and we've been able to shift them around and move them around a little bit. Recently, we moved Cooper to shortstop, Maddox second, just because Maddox is throwing a heck of a lot more lately, and he's becoming one of our starters. We feel like we got three guys who are aces, and we can throw them at any time. And, you know, he's been throwing our big games per week right now. So we just feel like it was an easy switch, and I just like what we're doing there, honestly.
Guys, what do you think about that as we're joined Cooper Courtright and Maddox Adderley's joined us here. Maddox, fresh off of signing for National Park. Congratulations on that as well. We were out there and had a good time.
So thank you.
As well. So, yeah, absolutely. But the ability to move around, Coop, you've played, not only have you pitched, I think you've played some third base this year, second, short. I tried to get Coach Brown to do the 9 different positions in one game. We got to be able to get that. I know it's a 7-inning game, so it'll be tough, but you think you could pull that off, huh?
Probably so.
That's right. What would you think if you had to start out in something like that? You got to get the catching out of the way first. So run you out there. Sorry, Braden. It's just for an inning, buddy, is all it is. We'll get you right back in there. Get loose. We'll get you in. Coach, I think we ought to try that. I've talked to him about it all season long. You think you're up for it?
Definitely.
Coach, what do you think about that?
Yeah, he could do it, no doubt about it. Catcher is probably his least favorite out of the 9, but he's a very good catcher. I mean, no doubt
We
he
won't
could do
catch
it.
him long. We'll get him because you don't want to do it last because you're through all of these other positions. So you got to start off.
Yeah, let's get a lead, and then let's move him to the catcher. How about that for an inning?
You got to come out knowing there's going to be a lead. You got to get after it and say, look, we're coming out, and this is how we're doing it. And I don't know, maybe there's somebody that's done it before.
Yeah, we might could do that one game. Let me think about that, and let's see who we can do that against. But
you got to be
he would be
careful.
fine.
With the free substitution, it's a little bit easier on there because if you guys are about to 15-run somebody, well, then we got to hurry. And move folks around on that, too. So that'd be a good one to have. But how comfortable, and we'll get back to, I guess, things that are actually meaningful and serious. How's your ability to move around and play your different positions? Does anything bother you?
No, they're all the same.
They're all the same. There you go. Maddox?
I grew up playing all around the field when I was a
Right.
kid, so it's not anything I can do. I just go out and play wherever I'm told to.
All right. Tough question here coming. What do you do to flush that from last week? It was a tough week for you guys. I know how we talked about it on Sunday about getting ready for charter, but what do you do to put that behind you? Because there's a lot of big baseball ahead of us.
You simply just put it behind you. There's nothing more to it. You just forget it and move on.
There you go. Coop, is that?
I agree with him.
You agree. See, there you go. What's some things, Coop, that you've done? And we haven't talked to you a lot on the show. What have you seen in your progress for this season? Things that you said, you know what? I've improved on this, or I also need to work on this.
I guess I've improved the hitting, and I've been trying to work on my fielding. That's about it.
There you go. Maddox, as you look ahead now to this week that's coming up, you guys have a big one on Tuesday night, I guess. That's the one at Benton. What's your approach on that?
Same has been against every big school because we're not expected to win the game. So what do we have to lose? Go out and play.
But I don't think, Coop, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you guys don't go into any approach that you don't think you can win a game that you go into. I know some games people go into, we don't have a chance at this one. I don't think y'all feel that way on anybody you play.
Not really.
Yeah, not at all. All right, Coach, so we've got both of them up here for a reason, too, because there are 2 finalists for our BU Designs Player of the Week. Let's make our cases for both of them in this situation because it's down to the final voting.
Yeah, you talk about Maddox, the start he had at Avoyelles Charter. If he does not have that start, we might not be in that position,
right.
Late in the game to have a chance. He was solid the entire game. And then, hitting-wise, he come up with a couple hits. I think, he had a hit against the Charter at home. And then I think on the road, Arcadia, he put one in the gap. And so he had a solid week overall. And then we moved Cooper to the leadoff role this week to try to give us a spark at the top of the order. So he's kind of done that. And then I thought he played a really good shortstop at Charter, made some really good plays there. Those were the key things that stood out to me about both of them. And then anytime you need Cooper to come into a game, to relief, you do that with him.
I don't think anything phases Coop. He's the same. I mean, to me, it's the same expression. Ahead by 10, behind, whatever it is, whatever event you're in. How do you have that approach to it? Surely it's got to fuel you, and that's how you. But how do you get to where you stay so even keeled?
I don't think I'm in my mind, so it's hard for other people to get in my mind.
I think that's a quote that needs to be somewhere. I'm not in my mind, so nobody else is going to go there. That's great. Coach, what do you think if somebody had to ask you, and he said, okay, what do they need to work on the rest of the season?
Well, sometimes they drive me nuts talking to the second baseman, the runner at second base. I wish we could work on that a little bit because I want him back in the spot a little bit earlier.
I don't know that that's ever going to happen.
But I will say this, Cooper, he does a good job of throwing the second base runner off every now and then, because I know he had the Westlake head coach the third base coach going crazy. That guy will not quit talking to my runner, and the kid was laughing the whole time, so I was kind of laughing. But no.
But that goes all the way back to Swaggy. You're infielders that don't quit talking.
Yeah, for sure. and I'm glad they're having fun. They're staying in the game. No, it's good. Some things I want us to work on. I think we got to finish on defense.
Right.
As a team, we have to back our staff up, and that really is our focus going forward, I think, for everybody. These guys, they've been really solid up the middle for the most part in the infield. We probably were not at our best the other night, so I really want us to build off that and make sure that we're regrouping, refocus, and make sure we're finishing plays.
Speaking of plays, when you guys get the call for the play with the runner on second base over there, what's going through your minds at that point?
I guess just run it.
just how does it keep working through all these years? Because it's worked a lot of years before you guys, and it'll work a lot of years after you're gone. I don't understand that.
You got to get a chump on second base who doesn't know what's going on.
That's right. We like to call them younger, inexperienced players more than chump, but there you go. All right, Coach, we're going to award our BU Designs Player of the Week. And you and I, so I say it comes down to the final voting now. You and I have talked about this prior to this and looked at the performances a couple of times. But our BU Designs 446 Player of the Week this week is Maddox Adelise.
Yay.
Dang.
Thank you.
So there you go. Congratulations. And if you'll look out there, we're going to pick, or Nick's just hanging out. We were going to get, there you go. And Coop, it's just, it's close. I think there's a case for you getting it every single week out there with the work that you do. I don't know that there's one player from last year to this year that I've seen, Coach, you can back me up on this too, if you progress and grow more than you have too as a player.
Yeah, if we're talking about an MVP case for our team right now, he'd be one of those up for it because he can help us do everything, and being able to move around in the field, being able to move around in the lineup, and come in the pitch. Look, I told our coaching staff the other day, he really would make a case for that because of the things he's doing.
Look, I don't know that there's a better quote, and we've been across a lot of coaches, and baseball guys have a lot of quotes, but I don't get in my own head, so nobody else is going to get in there. That's good stuff. Guys, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate it. Maddox, congratulations, and congratulations on signing with National Park. Looking forward to a lot of big things here. We've got a lot of work to do before this one is out. Cooper Courtright, Maddox Adelise. We'll be back right after this on the Warrior Roundup on 446 Sports.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hawk. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
And we're back to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday evening. Sun starting to set here on this beautiful Sunday evening. It's been, after all the rain that we had, this isn't a terrible night.
No, it's great out here, man, for sure.
Coach, you got a lot of younger players that contribute to this team this year. Tell me a little bit about that, and then introduce who you have here with you.
Yeah, I mean, we only have 2 seniors, so, we got a lot of kids that are 10th grade and below helping us out this year. And these 2 guys, we got 8th graders, Drew Horn, and 8th grader Aiden Gordon. Drew's been a starter for most part of the year. Then we just recently lost him with an ankle injury, and we got to get him back pretty soon because he's a guy that's batting .375, 14 RBIs, and you lose that.
And the
that
bulk
hurts.
of that from down in the bottom part of the lineup, too, that helps catapult you back to the
Correct.
top of it. So that's a big miss.
Yeah, and we were talking about the other night, the speed factor that he brings, give us an opportunity to run a little bit. And then when your leadoff guy puts a ball in play, you can put a runner in motion. There's a lot of things you can do. It just changes the whole dynamic of our team. So we definitely need to get that kid back. But he's been great, man. He's been a solid left fielder this year for us, and he earned that starting job, And then Aiden's new to baseball. I brought him into the office.
You told me his first year of playing ball.
First year. Brought him into our office, I guess it was in, January. And I told him, we've been coaching basketball there, and I just said, man, this kid, I want to bring him and another kid in. I think they could help our team out. And brought him in, and I said, man, I think if you gave this a shot, you could really make a good baseball player down the road. I said, it might be hard at first, but give it a year or two, I think it's going to pan out and turn out to be a good thing. And he's done that, man. He's one of our courtesy runners, pitch run and stuff. And he actually had to start one game with our whole entire outfield out sick. And we played against Vidalia and won that game. And, he's improved every week. That's one of the things that impresses our whole coaching staff. The kid has just gotten better. He's been playing a lot of JV center field and doing a really good job.
We have seen him out there a lot as we're setting up the JVs playing. Hey, now I'll ask you that. One, what was that conversation like that you had with Coach when he brought you in?
It was probably like whenever I first walked in, he was just telling me about how good of an athlete I am and just how I should play baseball and just tried it. And whenever I first got in there, I was with another player, Pierre, and he just told us about how we need to play baseball and train, and I gave it a shot. And
had you ever played baseball growing up as younger?
No, sir.
So when you mean this is your first year, this is just the first year to pick up a bat, pick up a glove, or anything?
Yes, sir.
And you're out in center field in those JV games, too?
Yes, sir.
Goodness gracious, look, it's tough. Fly balls reading that on there. How do you think your growth has been this season from that January 1st start? Because I got to imagine it was pretty rough to where you're at today.
Yes, sir. It's been pretty hard at times and just overwhelming, but I've pushed through it and gotten better.
Coach Brown fuss a lot? What's more, baseball or basketball?
Probably baseball.
Probably is right. Ain't no doubt about that. Drew, another injury to you, and this was one you were running to first. Was that right? What happened? Take us through that injury.
I don't even know what happened. I was running the first, and my heel came down, and I guess all my weight went on it, and I couldn't put any pressure on it, or else my ankle would give out.
Goodness gracious. What's the prognosis? What's your time frame for coming back in that?
So I'm going back to the orthopedic this Friday, and they're gonna tell me if I can get out the boot, or if they're gonna have to take an MRI.
I gotcha. Well, we're hoping for a full and complete recovery too. That's the one thing. You get a nagging injury like that and you rush it back too quick, it's going to linger throughout the off season and through that. So we hope that's there. How's your improvement? What do you think your years? Now you've played before though. You didn't just come into it your first year. You've been playing all along.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what do you think your growth has been as a starter in 8th grade throughout the season?
I think it's been a lot of just reading the ball better, because this summer Coach Brown would have me out there in left field, and I could not read the ball at all.
It's tough.
So it's been a lot of that, and then a lot of just trying to slow down in the outfield when they hit ground balls to me, because I like to speed myself up and let them go under my gloves. So
Look, that's a problem too. I mean, you got to secure down the outfield because there's nobody behind you to go back and get it if it gets by you on that. Coach, some thoughts about the future of the team with these young guys that are doing so much.
Yeah, we're excited about it. You know, the thing about Aiden is, man, I want to go back to him for a second. You know, man, the first probably 3-4 weeks,
right,
every single day he would come to us and say, Coach, can I stay afterwards and work? And he would stay sometimes an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. I mean, he'd stay every day with a coach or coaches, you know, and that was impressive to us. We were like, hey, man, he's really wanting to put in the time, and he's done that. So that really excites us there. And, you know, I'm excited about both these guys. I think they'll wind up being in the outfield together before it's all said and done.
Look, and it's good to see, and that's been the story, though, of Grace through the years. You look around in Class B schools and Class C schools, and then when they were combined and it was Division V, you've had a history of guys that are 7th and 8th graders that have had to step up and play.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have those guys. And, you know, I tell people all the time, man, you could play 6 years here. You know, I mean, some high schools you only get to play 4. And playing junior high to high school is such a huge difference.
Correct.
Even travel ball to this, it's a huge difference. I mean, you know, that was one of the things I told Aiden and Pierre. I said, you know, we're like a family. You know, we're in this together. And I said, you will enjoy this. It's a lot of fun. You will be with your brothers. And there's no better time than high school baseball.
Yeah, and in travel ball, you guys aren't going to see somebody that's 17, 18 years old and sign with LSU or sign with Tech or anybody like that. What's been the biggest adjustment on some pitches that you've seen? Because y'all have seen some arms come across. Everybody's going to throw their best at you.
I try to make sure I can make contact with that fastball that they give me because I cannot read a curveball.
We'll probably edit that part of it
He
out.
actually can. He hit the last 3 hits were on the curveball.
See, so there you have it. It's that confidence in yourself. Yeah, Coach, you've had a history of that. Aiden, what do you look forward to learning a little bit more this year and as the summer gets here? Because you'll start summer ball right after your last game. I don't know if you knew that or not. Practice is the next day. Whenever that last game is, practice is the next day.
Well, we don't practice, Aiden. We only play games. It's laid back. We have
Games
fun
start
with
the day. Look, I'm not going to scare you off. No. But anyway, what do you look to learn as you finish up this season and going into the future?
Just getting better at hitting and probably reading ground balls better and not running past them.
As you move, yeah, keep going.
And probably fielding the ball and just reading the ball.
What position do you play? So you play basketball too?
Yes, sir.
What position do you play?
Point guard and shooting guard.
There you go. All right. How many points you averaging? Uh-oh.
He's probably a double. I'd say he's at least 10-point guy. At least that. Maybe 8 or 9. He's around in there.
Look, I'm telling you, they one of the couple of questions that they ask when these guys come in and ask you about just how's the character and what other sport they play.
Correct, for sure.
That's absolutely well-rounded athletes are what they're looking for. Drew, as we finish out this year and you get back in shape, what are you looking to improve on besides hitting the ball? What do you think, taken from these seniors? You see Maddox, you see Canyon, you see some of those older guys. What does that tell you as a starter, as an 8th grader? Hey, I'm going to have some of these characteristics going on.
I feel like being more vocal because I'm quiet out there. So.
Right. Well, I'm going to tell you, the biggest improvement that I've seen was from first interview to today. Because today, look, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Loving this. See, there you go. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue looking ahead at the rest of this season. Guys, we appreciate you being here. Drew Horn, Aiden Gordon, that's right. Look, I'm going to have it before the end of the week. Aiden Gordon joins us here on this one. We'll be right back. You're watching the Warrior Roundup on 446 Sports.
Firehouse Subs just partnered with Hot Ones to create 2 new hook and ladder subs.
One with pickles marinated in Last Dab Reaper sauce to test yourself.
And a milder one with crispy garlic chips if tests aren't really your thing.
Find out how hot you like it for a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
Central Louisiana. This is your home for live sports action. From the field to the court, 446 Sports delivers the games you love with expert commentary and passionate coverage. Cheer for your favorite athletes and relive the moments that define our community spirit. Our sponsors keep us in the game. Together, we bring you the best in local sports coverage. Join the 446 Sports family today. Watch, cheer, celebrate. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. .446 Sports, where Central Louisiana comes to play.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
We're back to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday evening. Warrior Roundup head coach Josh Brown. And, Coach, as we get towards the end of the season, your phone, I don't think, stops ringing at all when it comes to making up rainouts, or are we adjusting schedules, or what are we doing? One, is that correct? Is the phone just ringing off the hook for you? And then, 2, what's going on with the adjusting? And let's get into that a little bit.
Yeah, the phone doesn't stop ringing. And my wife will tell you a whole bunch. It's, sometimes my wife's like, hey, take a break from that phone for the day, Sometimes I just got to put it down, and spend a little time with the family. But, it's also, teams are wanting scouting reports because you're sharing.
Right.
That's a lot going on right now, scouting reports. And then, rainouts, if something happens to that, rescheduling, you're trying to find a date that matches up. There's just not a whole lot of dates left. And then, I think we rained out last week. No, we were going to rain out. We saw the rain potentially,
right,
so we
moved
up. But
That's
we have
right.
rained out a couple games earlier this year.
You moved the Arcadia game up.
Correct. And then we had a couple of games earlier this year that we rained out, and we were like, hey, do we make them up? Do we not? And then we talked to those teams, and their schedule just didn't match up with ours. So now we're out there looking for other opponents, and we found one of those in
What's
Benton.
the maximum number of games that you can play in a regular season?
34.
34. And what do you guys have scheduled right now?
We plan on playing 34.
Okay.
Right now,
how many do you have right now?
Right now, we have 33.
Okay.
We are actually talking to a school out of Baton Rouge to finish. I know Maddox has been on me about the 12th because he's got a prom thing he wants to go to at Pineville, but it's hard to work around everything. Like these kids the other day.
Maddox, that doesn't play into things.
We got the ACT going on,
Right.
and then we got rally. So you're trying to work around all these things, and me and Coach Rozier were talking the other day. We said, none of this stuff happens in the fall. It's all in the spring, and we're trying to work around all this stuff.
But because that's prom, I guess, homecoming, and those things are earlier on there too. But you're right, you don't. And I remember a game that Grace's homecoming was held out at one of the facilities there on the air park, and these guys would get through with the game and then rush over there to prom.
Yeah, it was funny because one year we had one kid in cowboy boots over there on third base talking to me. He was already dressed, and we're in like the 5th inning. and he's like, I got to run over here to prom. And, you know, we're all kind of laughing. We had the JV guys in there. I think we're up like 14-4, but it was just kind of funny.
Cowboy boots on third base. How does that not remind me of something Brady would do? I don't believe. Yeah, that just seems like something.
B-Mac would definitely do that. You know, B-Mac right now he's trying to sell some four-wheeler tires and some other different things right now. This dude's always talking about something he's got going on.
It seems like that indeed. So the final day now to add is the 12th.
12th
is that
of
right?
April, yes.
And so the end of the season is the 14th?
Correct.
So why? I mean, that doesn't make a lot of logic to me that the last day you can add a game. If power ranking is so important, and it is uber important, then why do you get to add so late?
I really don't know that question. I mean, that answer to that question. I wish it was like at least a week or two, and for at least 10 days. I don't know. I just feel like, man, you wait that late, and you know, and you're looking at other people's scheduling and schedules and trying to work around that. But really, we just worry about us. And I kind of told our coaches the other day, and this is being honest, we really have not looked at the power rankings in about 10 days. We really sometimes get to the point.
Because they're not up to date on. Never mind. I'm sorry about that.
Sometimes we just kind of, we're just like, you know, I mean, we got to worry about what we got to worry about.
Right.
And that's kind of where we're at right now, to be honest with you. But we are trying to get better and move up. We did feel like we wanted to play some tougher teams down the stretch.
Since that first weekend in February, we've talked about power rankings and the number of teams that make it. I think it's 20 in Class B. Is that right? And
correct.
So you, at that point, if you've got 20 teams, then you've got take me through the playoff scenario. I know we had it with Oak Hill girls basketball. It had the same 20 teams, but where are you looking at? Okay, we've got a bye, or we've got a home game, or we're traveling.
Yeah, the first round, the top 12 get a bye.
Okay.
So then you have, I think, the 13th playing the 20th, the 14th plays the 19th,
right,
and all that stuff, 16, 17. So that's going to be your first round, and then you have your second round.
And so you've got to be 8 through 12, or you only get one bye, so one's going to play the winner of one of these, and it's going to move around. Where are you looking to sit? That's your sweet spot of, okay, we're going to get a bye, and we got a chance at a home game here.
I mean, we'd like to be top 4. You know, if we can't get top 4, you know, we definitely like to be at least. I mean, to get that first round home game, you got to be in the top 8.
Right. And I look at the schedule, and it's set up to do that. You picked up Benton on there. Now, that was a game that was added on late?
Yes.
What's the phone? Do you reach out and make that phone call? Do they call you? How's that set up?
Well, I noticed they had 33 games on their schedule, and we were looking to play somebody else big, and I noticed they had an open date, and I reached out to their coach, and it just kind of worked out. You know, they were excited to play us. Actually, and I say that, about 10 days before that, a guy named Brady Dupree, who used to be at St. Mary's,
right,
is the assistant coach now at Benton. He actually reached out to me on Facebook and said,
okay,
hey, you guys got an open date. And that's kind of how it started. Well, we didn't talk for about 5 or 6 days, and he was like, hey, talk to my head coach, and y'all see if you can work something out. And that's kind of how we worked it out.
Look, that's got to be a lot of going through all these schedules and combing through and looking at everything to find out who's got 33 games scheduled, because if one gets up now, that counts your tournament games, that counts everything. Because I know a lot of times the tournaments don't show up on here, all of the games that you play in there. And so how are you making sure that, we've just got to 33?
Yeah, we just count every. I mean, I had to count twice the other night just to make sure, because when you
what
see
happens
these,
if you play an extra one? If it's somehow
you'd be forfeiting,
right?
You get fined and all that. But we're definitely not going to do that. But we tried to work out a couple of rainouts that we had earlier, and the dates just didn't match up. And those schools were like, "Hey, it's not a big deal." And we kind of already played 2 of them in a tournament anyway,
right,
so it was like no big deal.
Right.
You know, and sometimes when you have a blowout, they're kind of like, "We don't want to play you, and we don't want to play them." So. You know, it kind of worked out there, and like I said, we're just going forward with what we got here the next 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll play good baseball.
What about local opportunities? I know you're in the district with Oak Hill and Glenmore, but Plainview's out there. I don't know if you played them or not. Tioga, Pineville, Ash. I don't know, where those, or Menard even, those games. Where are there no opportunities to play those?
I actually reached out to Colton at Tioga probably about 2 weeks ago.
Because you and him have done things for a long time with the tournaments and such.
And we talked a little bit about playing. He gave me a date, and we just kind of felt like, I don't know on his end, but my end, we just felt like that date probably wasn't a great date for us, as far as we didn't know how many arms we'd have available because of the week, and it was actually the week we just had. So it was supposed to be this past Saturday if me and Tioga would have played. Then, I think they wound up playing Buckeye on Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
And then he wanted
to
play
games too.
Then, and then he said something about playing it on Monday, and we were just kind of like, man, we got Benton that week. We already got possibly 4 games. Just one of those things you didn't know if you'd feel good. I was hoping he would have said, hey, I got something later on in the season. I would have jumped at that.
So how long do you hold on to number 34 before you go ahead and pull the trigger on something?
Yeah, I'm not in that big of a hurry. I would say probably by
April 12th.
By this Friday, I would say I would go ahead and nail that down.
By this Friday, you'll have something worked out.
I don't want to wait till 2 days before. I'd like to go ahead and do that by this Friday.
So you've got, and I'm thinking hypothetically, and I'm looking at it. You got, Friday, you've got your date set, and you've got 34 games that are on there. Here comes rain, and it washes a couple of the non-district. It take Glenmore out of the way because those are the district ones, and you'll get those in. Are you saying, okay, now, dadgummit, we're down to 32. We're back to working on it?
Well, we'll do like me and Simpson talked about. You may just have to play 2 different teams in a day.
Right.
You just got to figure a way to do it.
I thought they didn't allow.
No, you can do that now. That passed. You can do that this year.
Okay. Well, they changed a lot this year.
Yeah, you're not going to play 3 games in a day. I mean, this is not travel ball, So and where you got drop dead and all that kind of stuff going on.
Them softball girls can do it, Coach. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to play baseball 21 innings in a day, man. I don't know how good we'd be doing that.
Right. Well, it's there's a lot goes into it, and people don't really think. Oh, and then by the way, you got to figure some time to practice, and oh, by the way, you've got to get people healed up and healthy, and all of this other stuff that's going on. So there's certainly a lot to it.
And getting back to those schools in town, me and Colton and actually Coach Briggs have talked a little bit about trying to get us all back together and host a weekend tournament together.
Absolutely, little round robin.
We're trying to get that. We're Central Louisiana, where we want to bring a lot of baseball back here. We talked to Jordan about it a little bit this year, where we really like to get us all back together, and bring some teams to the area. And we're all hosting at 4 schools, and then we can play each other as well. But get everybody back on the same page like it used to be.
Have one big weekend where you bring in and have the 4 or 5 different sites on here. Boy, if you had Tioga doing their thing, and Ash and Pineville and Menard and you guys, that certainly, I would think that if you're the CVB or you're Gator or you're somebody like that, you're jumping on board that, because there are going to be a lot of folks coming in and staying and eating in the restaurants and filling up and doing those things, and coming out to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday afternoon. So that's my plug that I have to give in to the folks that aspire to be. We appreciate everything that they've done. Stay tuned for a lot of big information coming out about our partnership with Buffalo Wild Wings as well. It's growing also. Chuck, I'll tell you more about that later. Oops, to break the news to him. But yeah, no, that's just the gate on those things too, and that's how you guys pay for a lot of things, is the people that come through here. But I've got to believe, when you've got local teams, I've seen it in basketball, I see it in football, I see it in baseball when it happens, when you get people playing each other, and it's natural with that. When you're in Oak Hill, a lot of people out for it. Glenmore folks will be out here. I mean, there's extra people wanting to get on the broadcast even. So it's just it fuels things on there. And it seems like a simple thing that everybody should be doing.
Yeah, and that's what me, Briggs, and Colton were talking about. We really want to get all back on the same page and bring baseball back like it used to be. You used to have the Civitan tournament where we were all in that tournament. And, and people make coaching changes, people come and go, and, a couple of us are still at the same school. So we just want to bring it back together like it used to be.
Well, I think that it ought to be without a doubt. Coach, big week coming up for you again. Recap that for us. Tuesday, you guys are off tomorrow. And so you'll practice tomorrow. Do you have a game tomorrow?
We're off tomorrow.
Off tomorrow, up to Benton, which is above Shreveport on Tuesday. What's the rest of the week look like for you?
Yeah, and then we got home game against Saline on Thursday. Friday we got Dotson, and then Saturday Northwest, possibly a doubleheader with them and Simpson. That's what it looks like as of now. And who knows? I see weather could be coming back in on Saturday, so we might move another play a doubleheader on Friday instead of Saturday. So. And hey, we're going to go ahead and give the start to BMAC on Tuesday. I will go ahead and announce that. We're going to see if he can bring a little Northwood Shreveport flavor to Benton. So
Brady
McDaniel, yep.
He's going to start against.
Yep. He's going to start against
21-1 Benton.
24-1.
24-1. Pardon me. Dude, why not? Yes.
Why not,
get him
man?
out there.
I mean, hey.
Because I would promise you, he won't be intimidated by anyone.
He
I
will
can
not.
assure you
We're
of
hoping
that.
he can bring a little Northwood Shreveport flavor to that game. Look at him. He's getting pumped up already.
Look, he's ready.
He's moving around in that chair.
He's like, let's play it tonight, Coach. Let's go. Look,
Brady, you ready?
I think he's ready to just goof off. He's not paying attention. See, you can't get what did Coop tell us that he's not in his own head, so nobody else can get in there. He's talking about his hair.
Brady, you ready to go?
Oh, I thought you said his hair. Okay.
Oh, he is worried about his hair.
Okay, I just.
He's always hiding from Coach Morrow during the week.
That goes back a lot of years, though. He'll get you on the day before the last day of school. Trust me, I know that. Guys, look, I'm going to get in so much trouble on these shows. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight, Coach. Looking for a big week out of you. Good luck on Tuesday night.
Appreciate
Excited about that one. We'll be following along on it as well. But Benton will actually be up that way Tuesday as well. We're covering softball up there at Calvary. So
we'll just send Chuck over there with us.
See,
he can ride the bus with us.
He can read, yes. He
can even eat with us after the game.
That's how
Or we'll take Nick, either one of them. Who wants to ride?
Oh, look, Nick's all for it a minute ago until.
He was.
I thought you were taking one for the team, Nick. Yeah, he says no. Guys, that's going to wrap it up. Our crowd, even though they're off to the right, I didn't see them in front heckling us this time like normally. I know that they're here in spirit, so we appreciate all of you that have watched along as well. Don't forget, it really does nothing for you. It does nothing. Warriors play Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. Again, a lot of games coming up for the Warriors. Big finish to this exciting year. A lot of baseball to go, and we'll talk about it all next Sunday right here on the Warrior Roundup with head coach Josh Brown, Chuck Perkins. I am Doug Gann. God bless you all and good night.